Hello everybody, this is John Stiles with the VIP Real Estate Group at Bridge Realty. Today I wanted to introduce you to a friend of mine, Devin Donnelly from RR Remodeling. And I brought Devin into here today because we have an urgent matter, as many of you know, this winter season, and that urgent matter is ice dams. So, Devin, how are you doing today?
Pretty good. Yourself?
I'm doing great. Well, thank you so much for coming in, Devin. Just to get us started on this, can you explain what is an ice dam?
An ice dam is just that, a dam of ice. The snow melts on the roof, and once it gets to the edge of the roof, the heat loss from the home stops melting it, and on the eve it forms and it backs up into the roof, and the water no longer has somewhere to escape. And it continues building up, and the water will find a way out because the snow will melt faster than the ice.
So what concerns should the homeowner have, and what kind of damage would this ice dam potentially cause?
Ice dams can cause a variety of damage. The water can come in, it sits in roofs, it'll come down. I mean, water will follow gravity. The lowest point is where it's going to go. So it'll go up underneath your shingles, down through the sheeting, into the roof, it'll soak the insulation, it can rot out the ceiling itself. A lot of times when I walk into houses, you'll see like right underneath the front door, the globe will be filled with water because that's the easiest point for the water to get out. And yeah, a number of the jobs just yesterday I saw had like an inch of water in the light directly under their front door just because of, and that's inside the door, obviously, but it'll leak through the ceiling. You'll start seeing staining after a while. And yeah, ultimately it'll cause a big failure.
So if somebody has an ice dam or is worried about it, what type of solution can you offer them?
The best solution is always preventative maintenance. If we get the snow off of the roof, that's what causes it. A little bit of snow, 4 to 6 inches is acceptable enough, but you've got to keep in mind that's water. That's a lot of weight. And I mean, a lot of the jobs we've seen probably has 2 tons of snow on the roof because it's getting to heights of 12, 16 inches, and as it melts, it causes ice dams, and drive around, you'll see them everywhere.
Okay. And so what solution do you provide?
We offer the best solution by far, the only real solution, which is steam removal of the ice dam itself. We minimize all use of any sort of chisels or anything like that because that'll also damage the roof. The steam is, the safest way. It's all low steam, so it doesn't penetrate the roof, and our guys know what they're doing. They move quickly, and that said, moving quickly is a thing. It's a big thing because depending on how thick the ice is, it can take, any amount of time. It just depends on how it goes, depending on how thick it is, and yeah, we've seen ice build up to 16 inches on some of these houses, so that's thick high as well as beyond up. We always try to do at least the first 3 feet or so as far as at least snow removal. But it just depends because they can go all the way up, especially on compound roofs on those slopes.
So this has all got me thinking, is this process that you provide, is it expensive?
Yes, admittedly it is expensive. There's a variety of, a lot of it is cost. It's just the machines are expensive to operate. Getting a guy up on the roof, he has to be trained. He's on an icy roof operating a water machine. It's not something that anybody can do. And I guess anybody can do it. I would not suggest it though. Same thing with any handyman services or anything like that will chip away at the ice because it just leads to a lot of gutter damage. And that'll be the biggest thing from the ice dam itself that you'll see from the outside most of the time as far as damage goes. Is the gutters will start to droop and they will fall off because, there's probably 500 pounds of ice on it in some places.
Yeah, you definitely want to be careful. Obviously you guys are fully insured.
Yep.
Whereas your handyman, probably doesn't have insurance coverage to take care of this type of thing. I don't know if you want to get into pricing today, but is it kind of hourly basis or project by project basis, or?
We do not do estimates. We are $450 an hour.
Okay.
How many hours it takes, I'd be lying if I gave you an answer because it just depends on the job.
Okay.
Until the snow comes off and we can see how thick it is, and then it's a total variable as to how long it goes on for. We do have a 2-hour minimum that does total out to $950 minimum. And yeah, like I said, we could spend all day. I mean, and we've come back tomorrow for some of them just because it takes that long. That said, that cost versus the cost of internal frame damage on the house, especially over time, it's something to consider. And a lot of people are making that good decision, I think.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate situation for a homeowner, but they have to kind of make that decision. Do they want to pay now and prevent further damage, or do they want to just let the damage continue and then have to deal with a lot of repairs with sheetrock and framing and all sorts of stuff?
Yeah, and once again, I cannot say enough that the best solution by far is not even having to call us by removing the snow once it gets to about 4 to 6 inches. Yeah, we also do snow removal. But yeah, we've been flooded with ice dam calls, and that's what every one of our guys has been devoted to for the last couple of weeks. It's been crazy busy.
Okay. So if a homeowner thinks that they might have an ice dam problem, at what point should they be calling you? When do they know they have a problem?
As soon as you see visible ice on the edge of your eave, it is starting, and once that ice builds up, I mean, it depends on how big your soffit is. I mean, I guess I've seen some of them at 2.5 feet, but you can't see it because it's all happening underneath. Because yeah, the heat from your house is melting the snow on the bottom, and that turns to water, and it gets to the edge and freezes, and it'll just keep backing up.
Okay. So, what types of properties do you service? Like just single story, 2-story?
We've got equipment to do single and 2-story houses. We can go a little bit higher depending on the exact situation. We start with focusing on the biggest concern areas. Usually that's walkways and whatnot. But we do everything from, single-story houses to commercial buildings, apartments, yeah.
Okay. And then what's your service area? I know we're based out of Bloomington, correct?
Yep. Home base is Bloomington. We've been running all around. I'm going to say the furthest job out has probably been 30 miles, but there's so much so close that we're trying to take care of the home front first. But
okay. All right. So if somebody knows that they need your service, what's the best thing that they should do? Go to your website or call your number, or how should they get in touch with you?
By all means, do your due diligence first. Research companies. We want you to know that you're getting a fair price and that we're a professional company. But the best way to get a hold of us by far is to call Ray at 952-210-4988. If you mention that you heard about us from John Stiles, then you can get, we'll knock it down to $400 an hour.
Well, great. So don't forget to mention that you heard it from John Stiles at Bridge Realty to get that $50 per hour discount on your ice dam removal. So, Devin, thanks so much for coming in and explaining the whole process and the issue with ice dams. Thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed what you saw here, be sure to share this out with your friends and family so that we can prevent any further damage from ice dams. So, all right, thanks so much. Take care.